Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm very excited for this video. I finally got my Makeup Forever palette. Their HD Skin Face Essentials palette. You guys know I love this palette. I have it in Harmony too. Alright, so this one is the Tan to Deep palette. They brought out a brand new palette. I literally did not open it. I wanted to do everything on camera. I got it. I bought purchases from Sephora before the sale because I was afraid it was going to be sold out. I checked on it this morning. It's not. But I used my 500 points to get $10 off. All right, so this is what this one looks like. Oh. This is what this one looks like. From the outside, this looks like a cool palette. And then we have this side because, I mean, I have Harmony too. This looks warm, right? I'm afraid to open it now. See, this looks warm. I mean, this looks warm. This looks cool. All right, let's jump ahead and open it. So this is a palette that you can do everything with. You can do foundation, highlighter, concealer, contour, everything. Yep, it's a cool palette. This looks cool to me. Oh, no, don't tell me I'm going to be disappointed. Looks cool, right? Because let's look at Harmony 2. Girl. Yep, this is definitely a warmer palette. Oh, Lord. Makeup Forever. Why y'all did this to me? Yeah, this is warmer. Anyway, let's not knock it until we try it. This doesn't have a correcting shade, which is surprising to me because if this is a tan to deep palette, I felt like this should have definitely had like a bright orange shade like they put in this one to correct, right? What do you guys think? I think so. So these are blushes over here. I'm going to use these today because I've never used the blushes in that palette. And I'm going to swatch as I go. I'm assuming these two on the right here are highlighters. But let's start first with this part, the complexion, the real complexion part. And I'm going to dip a clean brush into it. I'm really feeling like this is such a cool palette. If you guys bought this palette and you've opened it, please let me know if you agree with me. To me, it looks cool because right now I don't know what shade to use for concealer. These are so cool. I'm gonna maybe try this first, this shade, and if it doesn't work out, I'll add this shade. Or you know what? I'm gonna do the two bottom shades for concealer. This is very interesting. I was not expecting a cooler palette. The creaminess of these, the textures of these are so beautiful. I'm just gonna lay it down. Okay, so this is fine. The one next to it is looking like it has a little peach. I feel like peach is coming up in my life a lot. Let's swatch it. Yeah, I can see that this is gonna be beautiful because it's a nice peachy shade. Formula is still the same, beautiful, creamy, pigmented. See, to me this has a little bit of peach. Has a little bit of peach. So, all right. So I think I'm going to mix in some of that shade since it has the peach. Like on the bottom part, like right here, and like in the corner. It's looking stark and bright, but trust me, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to blend it out. So I'm putting this in the center of my face. And you don't need much. I'm like, just look what I'm doing. I'm just tapping my brush like that. Pigment is crazy. I'm wearing my Juvia's Place Radiance Booster, of course, in shade 2. So I'm mixing them both together now. Yes, I'm wearing the Radiant Booster in shade 2, and I did some color correcting with my Nars. It doesn't look as stark as it's looking like on camera. I wish it was a little warmer because the concealers I use on the Harmony palette are definitely a little warmer. So I'm going to try to, since I'm using this as concealer, I'm going to try to use my puff to blend it out because I really like how this blends under the eye. Okay, yeah, so now that I'm blending it out, it's definitely more on the cooler side. So if you're going to get this palette, keep that in mind. And please trust the process. I'm going to fix it. All right, so like I said, don't mind all of this, but I'm feeling like there really could, I don't see any warm tones in the complexion, this like the foundation concealer part. I'm a little disappointed in that. Because I mean, I think because, you know, as when you're deeper, you know, your complexion can be richer. I think it should have been more like the shade should have been warmer. And so for like foundation, let's swatch this one. Maybe this is the only one that looks a little warm. That just has like a little red undertone. But that may be too red. Right now, honestly, I'm a little disappointed in the cooler tones. Let's swatch this one right here. And this is my first impression, guys, so bear with me. Okay, that's better. I'm going to use that as foundation, and I can probably use that other one as a bronzer. So let's go in with this. And I know I look crazy, but trust the process. So I'm using this one right here. I'm just using the brush to put it on. And then I'm going to use a bigger brush to blend it out. All right. Now it's on my skin. To me, it doesn't look as deep. See that? So I'm going to mix in a little bit of this as well. I think I'm going to need it. Yeah. So for foundation, I'm going to have to mix these two. Honestly, guys, I mean, we'll see what happens in the end. But right now, I'm a little disappointed. I thought the palette, it looked warmer in the images. And as a first impression right now, yeah. All right. I'm going to take a bigger brush. I'm going to go ahead and blend it out. But I feel like it could have been warmer. And what I would also say, because the texture is still the same, it's still beautiful. But because the, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Because these shades to me are more on the cooler side, you have to be careful because it can quickly give ash. So I can already see that I'm going to have to, when I use this palette, I'm going to have to use it in conjunction with the other palette. For me, it's probably not going to be, I mean, the texture, like my face, the texture is so beautiful, but it's pulling a little ash because of the cream. So I don't even feel comfortable with my under eye. I thought, you know, putting the other shades around would help. So I think I'm going to mix this with this and tone down my under eye. Yeah, because I was not expecting, because I've used bright shades under my eye before, but because of the coolness, it's definitely pulling ash. But the consistency, the texture of these, oh my God, if you've never tried these palettes, it's so beautiful. All right, so I think it toned it down a little bit, and in person, I'm seeing myself in the mirror. Oh my God, it feels even creamier than the first palette to me. But these tones are very cool. If you have more of a cooler undertone and you like cooler tones, I think this will work for you. But for me, I'm surprised at how cool it is. All right, so let's go in with the dark, finally, the deep contour shade. At least I'm excited for that. Oh my God. Oh, they weren't playing. Look at this. It is nice and dark, and I feel like I need it. So I'm using this brush from my Sonia G collection from her Lotus set. And I'm just going to tap, 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 tap it in here. And let's see. Okay, this is also cool toned. This is almost cool toned to the point where it's, if you're not careful, it looks purple. This is what happens when you fast and you like too much makeup, because I don't know, guys, I'm not feeling the cool tones at all. Yeah, this is very, very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna put it, but oh my God, like, you should see my skin. I hope it's showing up. My skin is fire, but I'm gonna have to mix in some of that other one as like a bronzer, like around the edges. Yeah, I don't like contours that are extra cool. I know contours are supposed to be cool, so I get it. I know what they did here, but then again, they put that warm shade in as well. So, oh my God, that's super cool. Yikes. I mean, first impression as I'm going along, I like the other. I already know I like the other palette better. This is so cool. Oh my goodness. This is like a cool tone purple gray. I'm gonna take, I mean, bear with me. This is in literal real time. I'm trying to figure out this palette. Skin is skinning though, but all right. So I'm gonna take this shade next to it, and I'm gonna try to see if I can. I'm gonna use a sponge, and I put it like right here. Take some of that away. More of like a bronzer. I don't love that contour shade at all. Okay, I think that helped a little bit. So I'm putting it like on the edge of that shade. Oh, this is a much nicer shade. I think I can even contour, I think, with this. I think that helped a lot, right? What do you guys think? But I think I'm gonna be using, when I use it together with that, especially the concealer part. I'm gonna use these, yes, but they're cool and they're more on the peach side. So I'm gonna use, whatchamacallit, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna use it with Harmony too. All right, let's look at the blushes and the highlighter shade. All right, so these two on top look like highlighters, but let's double check. Yeah, they're highlighters. So I'm gonna use this one with my fingers to just put it right on top. Even the highlighters are pulling cool, or maybe because it's sitting on top of like cool shades. This one has like this one is pretty. Has like a gold champagne-y color. I think it's more okay, it's warm enough. It's not as warm as the one in the Harmony 2 though. And I keep bringing that up because I do have something to compare this palette to. Okay, that's super pretty. And my dry skin loves this palette so much because it's just creamy goodness. Just putting some on my nose. And if I'm looking too shiny, which never happens to me, I'm gonna tone it down with powder, so that's not a big deal. The highlighter here, next to the one I just used, this is light. I mean, they say medium to deep. This has more of a, okay, this has a rosy undertone. Let me put a little bit. Trying to use as much as the palette as possible. Okay, this is not bad. It has like a rosy undertone, but I think on top of already cool tones, if you're not careful, it can pull like ashy. So like this highlighter, I would personally use when I use that palette or when I incorporate the two. All right, so let's swatch the blushes. We have this beautiful pink, like a fuchsia pink, very nice, very nice. Let me get rid of this bronzer swatch. And we have this like poppy-ish, reddish orange shade. Okay, the blushes are fire. The blushes are fire. If this was not such a cool tone palette, I'm telling you, because the shades are deep enough, the deeper shades. And we have this soft, looking like ashes of rose, muted pinkish color, looks like. The blushes are giving, and the last one looks like a nice berry shade. These I will use. For some reason, I wasn't inclined to use the other blushes in the, oh my God, this is fire. It's a nice fall color as well. All right, so what shade are we gonna use? I think I'll use the poppy-ish orange shade, and I'm gonna go in with my sponge. I hope it's not a disaster. I'm gonna thread lightly at first. Oh, nothing came up. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Ooh, okay. The blushes are, I like the blush side better. See, this side I like the other, just the complexion side. I prefer the blood. On this one, I like the blush. I can't speak today. I like the blush side better on this palette. All right, let me go put some powder underneath my eye and stuff, and then I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup on camera and we're gonna talk. All right, so I set my under eye with my kimchi powder in Suntan. I didn't do 2 powders today because I felt like my under eye was already stark. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in dark. And you know, every time I do reviews and stuff, I'm very honest with you guys. I'm not a huge fan of this palette. And the reason being, it's too cool tone for my liking. I mean, maybe somebody else. I mean, the blushes are nice, very dark skin friendly. You know, I get it, but I don't understand why such cool tones for deeper skin. To me, not, I mean, I don't know anything about formula making and stuff like that, but I know what I like. I have enough makeup to know, you know, to know a little something, something. And to me, the colors, even if they're deeper, to me, they needed to be a little warmer, because you have to consider we do have deep skin. So cooler tones on us can look a little ashy. That's, I don't know, that's my concern. So I feel like I really need to bronze up. And this particular contour shade here, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. It's like a cool blackish brown purple that I don't love. If I use it, I'm probably going to use a little bit. I probably can see myself reaching more for this one. But for right now, I'm overwhelmed. Of course, the palette is still the same. The beautiful textures and the way it feels, the way it performs. It's none of that. It's the tone and the color of the palette. I know this is going to be a long video, but I just want to do an in-depth review. So I'm going to go in with my Gucci bronzer because it's really warm. And I feel like I just need to warm up my face. And I'm going to start with my forehead first, which I never do because this is driving me insane, just the way it looks. It just looks, I don't know. I think I can get away. I got away, I think, putting the cool tone first on, you know, my contour area, but my forehead, no. I like the way that was looking. Okay, I think this made it better. And let's see here. Let's put a little, okay, I think that looks better. You know, there's nothing like looking forward to something so bad. I mean, I think I'm pulling it together a little bit, but, and you know, you look forward to something so much and then you get it and you're disappointed. This is how I'm feeling personally. And I'm not even sure like what to use for a powder blush, honestly. So I'm just gonna leave this little rosy tone that I have, and I'm just gonna put some highlighter over top. And I'm just gonna put some of my highlighter over top because I'm not sure what blush to use. I have like no inspiration. I'm not inspired at all. The highlighters are pretty. The rose tone is pretty, but I wouldn't put the rose tone with these shades. I will put it if I use something else. I would use the rose tone then. All right, guys, I'm back with my face done. And I added some more blush just to give my face a pop. So I added some more of the blush I used. The blushes are beautiful. I would give it that. Let me preface this by saying the texture, the quality of this palette obviously has not changed. It just feels amazing. I think my skin looks amazing. I do not like how cool toned it is. That's my personal taste. So that's where my disappointment is coming from, because I feel like I like more warmth in my face. And this is what I have to compare it to. And I wish there was a correcting shade in this one as well. They could have done one highlighter, I feel, and one correcting shade. Right? Because as soon as you look at it, boom. This is as soon as you look at it, this is warmer. It's lighter, the shades are lighter, but it's warmer. And then you look at this and just focus on the complexion side, not the blush side, right? It's cool. I'm not a cool tone person. You guys know I love golden. Does it look spectacular on the skin? Yes, it does. You know what? Like, when I was in the middle of filming just now, I'm in New York. We had like a little earthquake. The house was just shaking. Everything in my bathroom was shaking, my camera, everything. And my son ran upstairs and he was like, what is going on? He was like, is that an earthquake? And you never expect it. Something happened. And I'm getting a lot of citizen notifications. So other people felt it too. Anyway, back to filming. Beautiful texture, everything. And finally, when they put the dark shade, I'm not a huge fan of it. I feel like it's extra cool and sort of like blackish, brownish, purplish. So I think if you're going to use this, you can't use a lot. Like I wouldn't do what I did and went with the brush. I would just barely tap it and like just maybe keep it up and just carve that cheekbone out and just like keep it up. This is nice and warm. This is a beautiful shade. This is like, I would say, the only warm shade. And it's not even as warm as I would love it to be, but it's warm compared to the rest. The lighter shades that you can use for concealer, they have peachy undertones, especially this one here. Very peachy undertones. I don't mind that because I can work with that. But like I said, I'm going to have to use it in conjunction with Harmony 2. And I'm going to use the warmer tone concealer shades, and then I'll probably put some peach, this one here especially, like in the corners to like highlight. So those are my thoughts on the palette. I feel the blush side is fantastic. It's beautiful for deep skin. I feel like my skin looks flawless as usual, like when I use the palette. I just wish it was not as cool tone. But you can just look at it and see it's a cooler tone palette. So I don't know if you guys are if you're planning on buying this palette, if you're on light skin tone, if you feel like you want it after seeing my review. But I'm going to try to have this review up as soon as possible because I know the Sephora sale is going on as we speak. I haven't purchased anything yet because I'm still trying to really figure out what I really want and what is just like, I just want it. I'm trying to be like, you know, good. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.